I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Arts and culture were everywhere you turned during an annual festival honoring Eastern European heritage. Check it out. The Ann Arbor Russian Festival was in full swing with music, dancing, and delicious eats.
The first year, they simply started off as a fundraising thing for building fund to build a new church. It became such a success, teaching people the diversity of the Russian cultural background. So we continued it on every year.
Those crazy Russians, again, here we go again. It's our 6th annual festival.
It's very enriching to learn about other cultures.
And a cultural assortment it was, with plenty to whet your appetite.
Local people and our own group from our church as well will dance. Kids will perform.
Shashlik, which is kebabs. There's chicken and pork. And then there's also pelmeni, which is dumplings filled with meat. And then there's borscht soup, which is beet soup, and etc., etc., etc.
It's still small enough that feels like family, but it's big that can bring a lot of different varieties to look at.
Live life to the fullest right here. Instead of buying a ticket to fly to Russia, come right here and you'll get the true taste of the authentic Russian culture.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. School's back after summer, and for those of us who have already received our diplomas and those that are looking to continue our education, Washtenaw Community College is a place for lifelong learners, as they host events twice a year offering a free day of classes. WCC opens their doors to students of all ages and interests during Free College Days.
We want to offer a broad range to not only showcase the talent that we have on campus, but also to allow the faculty to really express their interests and their expertise with the community.
I'm really intrigued to see all the different stuff that is offered here. Just didn't know there was that much.
It's a day that we allow the community to come in and see all of the things that we do on a regular basis, to our labs. We also have a car show, Cars and Bikes on Campus.
The kind of filmmaking thing they had, that caught my eye, and it's not something I ever thought about, so it was very helpful to come here and learn about that.
I like the 3D printing and seen anything like that before.
To become aware of all the fascinating courses to build your career, build your academics, build your knowledge.
If you're not sure what you're going to do, and if you're interested in looking around and getting an idea of what you want to do, this would be the perfect thing for you to come do.
It's just really, really great to become well informed on what Washtenaw Community College offers.
For more on Washtenaw Community College and the next Free College Day, visit wccnet.edu. In today's technology-ridden world, it's easy to get distracted from your task at hand. But when you're driving, your concentration should be on the road and not on your device. Learn more about distracted driving in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Bill Clock, the Ann Arbor Police Special Services Section. I'm here to talk a little bit about distracted driving. Texting while driving does increase your stopping distance, so it's going to actually take you a whole lot longer to stop. Nationally, in 2016, there was 3,500 people killed in distracted driving collisions. And in 2016, here in Michigan alone, there's 43 fatalities and about 13,000 traffic crashes resulting from distracted driving incidents. Michigan Vehicle Code does prohibit sending a text message, reading a text message, or manually typing a text message. We do have a lot of students coming back to town here shortly, with about 17,000 students attending the Ann Arbor Public Schools and about 45,000 attending the University of Michigan. So there'll be lots more pedestrians. So please keep your eyes on the road, put the cell phone down, and be safe out there.
You will never know the joy of creating something with your own hands until you experience it for yourself. You may find your passion in painting, woodwork, crafting. One local group is bringing the world of embroidery right to our fingertips. Joining me is Rahn, president of the Embroidery Guild of America's Ann Arbor chapter. Welcome to the show, Bonnie.
Thank you so much.
Can you talk about what the Embroidery Guild of America is?
The Embroidery Guild of America seeks to promote and educate people in general about embroidery and to share the art of embroidery with people. It's something that not everybody thinks that they're capable of doing, but I myself am very multimedia. I'm not a traditional, stitcher where everything is a sampler and very fancy and formal. We have many people in our guild that have those skills, but we also have people like me that, are very diverse in our interests, as well as some people that just come and do cross-stitch. It's a very diverse, friendly group.
What's the difference between, let's say, embroidery and just maybe like hand sewing? Is there a big difference, or can you kind of, if you're good at one, you can kind of parlay into the other?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Stitching in general is important because if you need a pair of pants hemmed, you need to stitch and you want it to look fairly even. And the same is true with embroidery. You are just doing maybe fancier stitches and you're trying to be consistent and even in the way it looks. Doesn't always work, but most of the time. And with practice, you can get, very, very good and very accomplished at it.
Well, like with anything, it's trial and error.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But if you take a stitch and you're doing it incorrectly, if you do it long enough, it can become your very own stitch. So,
so you can create.
You can create, absolutely.
Yeah. So why don't you talk about some of the stuff you brought here, because you have different examples of embroidery.
Okay. Well, this is a class that I taught at the Saline Library in September. And this is just another variation of it. And it actually is for holding Post-it notes. It's made out of felt and little shapes. And you can see you can get very, very involved in it and do a lot of stitching. You can try and keep it pretty simple. And it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. The folks in the class really enjoyed it. In November, we're going to be doing little ornaments for the tree. We've got little mittens that folks can do. We've got stockings. You can keep it very simple and just do a little running stitch or blanket stitch around the edge. You can put a little button on it. If you don't want to do a lot of stitching, if you look close enough, you'll see my stitches are not all even, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, and I'm sure when you're looking at something like hanging on a tree, you're not going to go, oh, that stitch isn't right.
If they do, they're looking too close.
Yeah, but it's nice that you can kind of like create stuff for the holidays and that sort of thing. But this is actually, so you're showing me things that, someone like me who's never done it before, I could create something like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. These are beginner. You can do it on many levels. Like I say, you can keep it very simple and very basic. You can be very elaborate and do something like crazy quilt stitching all over a mitten or a stocking. This was a program that we had in Embroiderers Guild a year before, and it was crazy quilting on canvas, which is an open mesh. And the project was done all in cream, but I thought, what am I going to do with this little cream thing, you know, to hang? So I turned mine into Christmas colors and made it an ornament. So, you know, you can be, again, very elaborate with that. As I told you, am multimedia, so I like to add beads and stuff. But
I like that addition of beads.
I do like a little bit of bling.
Yeah. But if you wanted to join the Ann Arbor chapter of the Embroidery Guild, what do you have to do?
You just show up to the Pittsfield Community Center on, it's right across from Arborland. I don't have the exact address.
Okay, yeah. We all know where Arborland
or
is.
you can go to the website for the National Embroiderers Guild of America and look for the Ann Arbor chapter, and it will have our address where we meet. And we meet the third Monday each month from September to June through June. And you just show up at 7 o'clock or a little before, and we have a short meet and greet with everyone, and then we usually conduct our business meeting as quickly as possible because it's
you
business.
Want to get down to stitching.
Right. People want to do the fun stuff. And then we have some sharing time and a program such as like what I showed you. And sometimes it can be completed in one, you know, session, but sometimes the program will go over 2 or 3 sessions. It depends.
And you can always take it home and work on it at home.
Oh, absolutely. You can take it home, work on it at home. We have sit-and stitches scheduled at different members' homes from time to time.
Okay.
You can go there, and people are always happy to answer questions.
So let's say you're completely new to the world of embroidery and you go to one of the meetings. Do you have to bring your own materials?
We usually put together a kit for a program because not everybody has everything for that type of thing. And then there's a small cost. It might be $4, $5, $6 for the materials in that package. And then you can start your project and take it home, work on it if you want to. If you're afraid to go any further without help, you can go to a sit and stitch, or you can come to the next meeting and work on it.
And there's obviously different skill levels, and anyone can join.
Oh, absolutely. We have a very diverse group of stitchers.
Okay. I also heard that you guys do some community projects too, like you did something for Habitat for Humanity.
We do. We have done in the past, we've done the Habitat for Humanity where we did a welcome home sampler for each home that they were building that summer. And that was nice, but that was kind of a tough one to do because we have a small group of stitchers, and the year that we did it, I think they had 9 houses. So
it was like every time you were meeting more than once a month.
It was everybody on board.
Yeah. So, well, why don't you talk about why people should come to a meeting, maybe join, or maybe why you think embroidery is so fun and to get people interested in it?
Well, I had a stitched piece that I had started years ago, and a friend talked me into coming to a meeting. And I was like, well, you know, I have this piece, and I either need to finish it or throw it away. And I thought, well, if I go to the meetings, then at least I can sit there once a month and work on it, and then maybe a year I'll have it done. And so, of course, that didn't happen. There were other things going on that, you know, with the meetings that I enjoyed. And I finally, one January, sat down and finished the piece after 2 years. And it only took me a few weeks to do it. But, you know, it's just something, it's a creative outlet. And everybody needs a creative outlet, sometimes whether they know it or not.
And it seems like anyone could kind of catch on to this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And you're showing people in the meetings. You know,
Oh,
if you
yes.
wanted to try something a little more complicated, you could ask someone like you that's done it or someone else in the group to help you out.
Absolutely. We have had fairly simple things like these are called biscornus. And with a biscornu, mine is beaded, of course, but it is simply stitching and beads, and it's just cross stitching. So you go over 2 threads, and then you go over 2 threads again the other way, and it creates the X. And it's not hard. It's something that, like you say, if you make a little boo-boo here or there, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to look that close.
Yeah.
And if they do, they should maybe, back off.
And once you get into the world of embroidery, like you said, you create ornaments for your grandchildren. I mean, you can do like special things for people.
Oh, yeah.
That it's so much nicer than buying something at a store.
I think so, definitely. And if you're looking for a gift, for instance, the little stockings and the mittens, I, of course, had to take it to another level, and I made very tiny mittens, the size to put on earrings. And I have a couple of friends that I'm going to give them a set of the mittens and a pair of little mitten earrings for Christmas. So they don't know. But, it's something you can take it and keep it very simple. You can take it and make it very complicated, like I need to sometimes. You can add beads. It really, the world is your oyster with this.
All right. Well, thank you, Bonnie, for coming on the show.
Well, you are welcome. Thank you so much for asking.
For more on this and other programs, visit hugov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.